Oh, okay. Oops. That's okay. Let's see. Here we go. Um, okay, let me make sure I get the right thing. And should I put, here we go. Okay, copy. And then live on Facebook. And we want this in the League of Badass Butterflies. And this is what we're doing today. Today we are doing the new moon eclipse. Copy. Here. And we want that also here. Okay, share in your group. And it is the League of Badass Butterflies. Oh, I'm wondering, well, this is the way it's going to go right now. All right, I have to do it this way. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to copy this link. Invite, copy, invite link. And I'm going to add this here in Facebook. Edit video. Okay, hold on. Hey, I'm just going to, if you want to join me, on Zoom and you're on Facebook, here's the Zoom link. I should have done that. I don't know why here we go, Zoom link, just in case you want to come and join me on Zoom. Here we go. All right, I've got that. And I want to make sure that I have my notes open, and I do. So, do I? Yes. Okay, and where is the worksheet? That is here. Looks great, Rebecca. The worksheet looks really good. It's a beautiful worksheet. Hi, everybody. It's Crystal Lynn, and I'm really, really excited about what we're going to be doing today. I want to thank you all for joining me here live. And if you're watching live, please type in the comments live. And if you're watching the replay, put in replay. Also, if you would like, react, give me a heart, that would be really, really helpful too. Really, it just helps so much when you all comment and you give some kind of a reaction to what we are talking about. Even if you want to give me the mean face, angry reaction. Anyway, I want to thank you. I'm Crystal Lynn. All right, and today we are going to be preparing you for this awesome new moon eclipse that is coming up next Tuesday. So I want to make sure, let me first of all make sure that the live stream is working. Let's see, Rebecca, are you here? I don't see Rebecca's notes. Normally Rebecca is right on time, and I don't see any notes from her yet, but there could be some kind of a delay. Anyway, Rebecca, if you're here, give me a shout out. I see Leanna is here. That's all that counts. Let's get this party started. Leanna is here. Hi, darling. How are things in Oregon? Here in Paris, things are mighty gray, and we've had so much rain, and I'm trying not to complain about it because I want to be super appreciative of the weather, because I do not need to be controlling the weather. Mother Nature needs to control the weather, not me. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. Today we are, our session is called The New Moon Eclipse in Scorpio. It's the ritual to visualize and manifest your dream spiritual life coaching business. What does that even mean? Like, Crystalline, that is a mouthful. What on earth did you just say? Well, you want to be a spiritual life coach. And in order to be a spiritual life coach, you kind of need to know what a spiritual life coach does. And you also need to be able to feel what that feels like in your body. Because right now, like if you're working on a 9-to-5 job, or if you are a stay-at-home mom, or you're working in your garden, and then all of a sudden you've started a business and you are seeing clients and you're organizing classes and you're thinking about ideas about how to promote your services. You want to share your services with the world. Well, in order to make that actually happen, you've got to create that yourself. And the wonderful, wonderful news is that this whole process starts in your mind. So we have a new moon that happens next Tuesday on October 25th. And I thought it would be really fun to plan today to prepare us to do a manifestation ritual for next Tuesday. Because, so let me talk to you a little bit about the moons, okay? So the moons work systematically. The new moon is a time of creation. It's a time of thinking about what it is you want to create, what it is you want to manifest, and thinking about what you want to put out into the world. So the moon is new when she is in the same house or astrological house as the sun. So when the sun and the moon are in the same house, the moon acts a little bit like the sun. Or you can say that the sun and the moon are working together in harmony to make things happen. So it's a very powerful time for you to say to the universe, this is what I want to create. And so what we do at the new moon is we go through some kind of a ritual or a manifestation process where we tell the universe very clearly what it is we want to manifest. And then the way the planetary movements work is we basically are hopping into the movement of the universe. And what we're doing is we're saying, hey, I want to manifest this awesome spiritual life coaching business. And so what you do is you put that out there to the world, and the universe is working that through itself so that a year from now, you are well into this, making it a reality, okay? Now, the new moon is when you put the desire out into the universe. 6 months from now, the universe is going to be like, hey, do you really want this? Okay, because the moon is then full. And that is the time when you are tested, because when the moon becomes full, all the shadow, all the resistance, all the subconscious comes up for you to deal with around those desires. So right now we've got or next week, we have the new moon rising in Scorpio. And in 6 months, the full moon is going to rise in Scorpio. So that'll be around May. Is that right? Wait, oh, Lord Almighty. Hold up. This is November. This is October, December. It'll be the end of October. Let me just check myself to make sure that I'm not having some kind of a weird brain fart. October. Yeah, that's right. So at the end of April or at the beginning, no, it's got to be, the end of April in May, while the sun is in Taurus, right? Because Scorpio and Taurus are opposites. So the new moon is now in Scorpio. So when the sun goes around to Taurus, the full moon is going to be Scorpio. Okay, that'll happen in April or May. That is when the moon will be full, and you will definitely have to be dealing with any resistance that you hold toward the desire and the dream that you're establishing with the new moon. Okay, so that is what we want to be working on today. We want to make sure that what we're doing today is going to facilitate a very easy kind of transition. And here's why. Here's why I'm doing this thing in two parts, right? So next week, we are definitely going to be meeting here at our usual time. We happen to be very blessed that the new moon actually falls on the day of our regular live stream. Okay, it's on Tuesday. How lucky are we? We're very lucky. Okay, and it's an eclipse. All right, which empowers this this moon energy, which means whatever we're doing on that day is going to be amplified through the universe. And that's why I thought, let me take my girls on a journey to really get serious about their life coaching, okay? Scorpio is a really important sign, especially because we are spiritual. It's a highly intuitive sign. It's very feminine. It has access to the occult, metaphysics. There's a lot of great insight that comes through Scorpio. So this is the perfect opportunity for us to be really building up and making sure that on Tuesday of next week, we have some really good work done so that we can meet that new moon energy with excellence, okay, and with ourselves prepared. So what we're going to do today, oh my God, I forgot to tell you all about boot camp. So before I tell you all what we're going to do today, it's time to sign up for Spiritual Life Coach Startup Boot Camp. Okay, so if you missed it when we ran it a few months ago, it's back. So you need to join us this time and make sure you sign up now because we have some really good things coming through. Okay, so sign up now because let me back up. Boot camp starts on November 7th. Okay, so you're like, Crystalline, that's so far away. But it's not actually, because I've got an assessment that I want you to fill out, and you need at least a week to do that assessment because it's a big one. And there are a few other things that I'm going to be sending you between now and boot camp so that you are, again, really, really well prepared for boot camp. And do you see how I'm putting this together? Yeah, we're doing visualization today. We're doing manifestation next week. And then the week after that is boot camp, or the week after that is boot camp, where we are actually going to be like opening up and saying yes and making our blueprint and creating the roadmap for making our business real. So I am very intentional because I love my work as a spiritual life coach. And I want you to understand that if you've been called to being a spiritual life coach, this is a great opportunity for you. This is a great opportunity for you to create an incredible life for yourself. You know, I live in Paris, and I'm not saying that everybody should be living in Paris, not at all. Paris is not for everybody, but you should be living where you want to live. You should be spending your days the way you want to be spending your days. You should be living an abundant, rich life. Okay, and I'm not talking about financial riches. I'm talking about dark chocolate richness, okay? That richness that comes from being grounded to Mother Earth and connected to Father Sky, okay? The richness that comes with having great relationships and not spending your fucking time dealing with shit that doesn't serve you. Y'all don't hear me curse very often in here, but I'm dead serious. I want you to move into a life that is abundant and serves you. If you are living a life dealing with a job that doesn't serve you, you're dealing with people that you don't want to work with, you are not being paid what you deserve, okay? You can do better. If you're struggling to pay your bills, then your life could be improved by taking your dream, your passion for spirituality, and turning that into a real spiritual life coaching business. Not only is it absolutely amazing to work with people every day, people come to you and you make them feel better. They come to you and they see improvements in their lives. That is so rewarding. It is fun to watch people take in your words, take in your philosophy, use your tools that you have provided them. They apply it to their mind, they apply it to their lives, and they come back and they're like, Crystal Lynn, that problem is solved. I've done it. You helped me, right? And then on top of it all, they pay you to help them, because what you've created, okay, your system of healing, your system of coaching, the tools that you give them, that you've created yourself, those tools are so valuable that people are actually like, yes, I will pay you thousands of dollars to participate in your program, to listen to what you have to say, and to improve my life. They will have measurable improvements in their life because of you, and that is worthy of being compensated for financially. So when I'm talking to you in this League of Badass Butterflies Facebook group, I'm talking to you from my heart as someone who's very spiritual and who is very, very authentically interested in helping other people. Like, that is my passion, helping people. But I'm also really passionate about not struggling through my life and helping you not struggle through your life. And the way you don't struggle through your life is by ownership of your life. Ownership of your life means you own your time and you own your financial situation. You have to be financially stable. If you don't know how to create financial stability, you need to learn how. And if your job is not creating not just financial stability, but financial empowerment, then you need another job. Now, I respect your job, and I also respect the process of starting a new business. But you need to do both, okay? So if you have a 9-to-5 job, you need to stay on that job until you set up your coaching business. And once you've set up your coaching business, you need to let your coaching business grow so that it's making at least as much money as you need to support yourself, okay? So don't go thinking I want you to leave your 9-to-5 job, your corporate job right away. No, that's not necessarily realistic. Your 9-to-5 job is kind of like your business's biggest sponsor. It's your business's biggest investor. So go ahead and stay on that job, but approach that job from the place of, I'm only going to be here with you for a couple of years, and then I'm going to have my own business rocking, and then I'm going to leave this job because I have learned how to make money myself, and I've built a business that can pay me what you are paying me, but on my own terms, and also, you know, the financial possibilities of what you can create with your own business. You can, the sky is the limit. We cannot say that that's the case in most jobs that we hold, in most 9-to-5 jobs. So y'all, look, I am all excited. I want to get into our program for today. So please, if you've not signed up for Spiritual Life Coach Startup Bootcamp, please go ahead and get signed up for that. The link is in the comments section. I think I also have a link in the description as well. Now, we've got a lot to get through, so let's tuck in. First of all, you need the worksheet for today, or you need a journal. So Rebecca, will you please put the link to the journal in the comments? All right. And Rebecca, did you tag everybody in this live stream today? I don't see the tag here. So can we make sure we get everyone tagged? I want to make sure that, yes, I see it there, Rebecca. Thank you. Right. So you all need either a journal or you can download this worksheet. If you want the worksheet, you can get the worksheet later. For right now, you can just make notes, all right, on a scrap of paper, because I'm going to tell you what it is that we're looking at. And I'm also going to share my screen, okay? Let's see. So you are wanting to be a spiritual life coach. You are wanting to be in control of your destiny, all right? Today, what I want us to do is to create the vision of your coaching business, okay? The vision. And then next week, we're going to take this vision to the new moon, and we are going to go through the manifestation process of how we're going to give birth to this vision. All right, that's next week. Today, we get the vision. Now, in order for you to have a really good vision, we need for you to move away from your egoic self just a little bit. We don't want to do away completely with your egoic self, but we want to just make sure that there's a little bit of ego, a little bit of soul, and a little bit of the higher self that's acting, okay? Look, your higher self and your soul are always taking action, but sometimes it's very normal to identify with your egoic self. So we want to tell ego, let's move you aside, and let's let your soul talk a little bit more now, because your soul holds your wisdom and your agenda for this lifetime, okay? So your objective for today is to give voice to your soul and to discover what it wants. Now, your soul has some kind of a dream, some kind of a desire that it wants to be birthed through your earthly experience, all right? And being a spiritual life coach is a part of that desire, okay? Now, what's stopping you from being a spiritual life coach? It can be any number of reasons. Maybe this is a new concept for you. Maybe it just occurred to you that this is what you want to do. But maybe you have already been thinking about this. You've been having this feeling of, I really want to help people, but I want to do it in a very powerful way. This is really important. We want to make sure that that powerful way has a clear pathway to being born through you, okay? So we're going to talk about your soul right now. So we're going to jump into a conversation with your soul. There are 5 parts to this exercise, okay? There's a writing part, there's a choosing part, a forming part, a deciphering part, and an integrating part. Okay, so 5 parts. So you need something to write on. You can use the worksheet, which Rebecca has put the link in the description for you, or you can use your journal. All right, and you can get the worksheet later. I want you to have the worksheet, but you can always download it and write in it later. You can transfer the information to it later. So the first thing that we're going to want you to do is to take a deep breath, all right, and just kind of focus on your heart center, where your soul lives, all right? And when you breathe, I just want you to know that you're talking to your soul and you're going to let her communicate through this exercise. That is your kind of job. And just tell your ego, step aside, let's let soul talk, okay? Don't overthink anything that I'm going to present to you. Remember that your soul is always there. You just need to be quiet in order to hear it, okay? So let's get into the exercise. All right. I'm going to give you 14 statements, all right? And actually, this is a good time for me to share my screen. Hey, the worksheet, the workbook looks really, really good. Here we go. I'm going to share this. Share screen. I don't know, just the one, thank you. Okay, and all right. I do believe that, let me see, hold on. I'm going to stop the share because I had two things open. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Thank you for that warning. Here we go. Okay. All right. Can you all see the workbook? I think you can. Oh, you know what I should have done was to download it. Darn it. Okay, here we go. You guys wait. Sorry, give me just 1 second. I'm going to download it first. There we go. I would rather do that instead of having it in the browser. This way I can see it more clearly. There we go. That's better. Okay, this is what I should have done. So this is the worksheet for today. And Rebecca did a great job of designing it. Here's a link to remind you to join Spiritual Life Coach Startup Bootcamp. And this is where we are right now. All right, we're in the first section, which is called Your Soul Speaks. And what we have here are 14 different statements. And what you've got to do is just breathe into your heart center and let the answer come out of you from your soul, not from your mind, okay? This is really important. It's important that your ego doesn't answer this because we're not interested in what your ego wants. We need to listen to your soul, all right? Now, we are going to move very quickly through this exercise, but remember that you can always come back and do this on your own and finish this up later, all right? You have 1 week to get it done because you're not going to need the, you're going to need this next week, okay? So don't wait because this is quite a long exercise. There's more to come, but you are definitely going to want to be done with this as soon as possible, all right? So there are 14 statements here, and I want you to complete each statement with as much depth as you feel called to. And let's see, when I look at these little lines, there's not a lot of space here. We should have actually put much more space in here for you. So maybe, Rebecca, we should probably redo the workbook and put little boxes here for each of these because there might be a lot that comes through. But anyway, this will do for right now. And you all can, we'll update the workbook and put the new link. We'll post that in the League of Badass Butterflies, or you can, if you request the workbook, I will DM you, or I'll send you a personal message with the updated link. Okay, so if you want the updated workbook, put a note in the comments and I will get you the updated workbook so you can have the have enough space, okay? All right, so your job is to answer each of these statements and just let your soul speak through each statement. And what we can do right now, since you have me to guide you, I'm going to read the statements to you, and you can just kind of relax and breathe into your heart space. I'm going to read the statement, and then you just write, okay? So go ahead and let's get started. So just closing your eyes and taking some deep breaths. Clearing your mind. And maybe just putting a hand over your heart for a moment and just feeling the rise and fall of your heart space as you breathe. And again, just clearing your mind. And here's the first statement I want you to complete. I really want to live blank. Fill in the blank. I'm going to give you several seconds to fill that out. I really want to live blank. And here's the next one. I really want to give blank. I really want to give. And here's the next one. I really want to invest. I really want to invest. Okay, and the next one, I really want to commit. I really want to commit. And don't worry, you all can come back to these, the ones that are particularly intriguing, you can come back to. The next one is, I really want to have. I really want to have. And next, I really want to be known for. I really want to be known for. And next, I really want to serve. I really want to serve. Next one, I really want to enjoy. I really want to enjoy. I really want to be. I really want to be. The next one is I really want to study. I really want to study. If you're just now joining the live stream, we're right in the middle of an exercise, and don't worry, you can catch up with us. Okay, the next one is I really want to change. I really want to change. Okay, and here's our last one. I really want to show. I really want to show. So right now you've done this step of the exercise, okay? And you basically have 14 statements, which are, they're really interesting. Actually, let me stop the screen share for a moment here. So these 14 statements are really important, okay? They are varied, okay? Some things you could resonate with, some things you could feel more excitement around, some things you might have felt a little dread around, okay? But something came through those 14 statements. What I need you to do now is to look at those 14 statements, and I want you to choose one word from each statement, and I want you to write that. Actually, I should not have stopped my share. Let me go back. We're going into the next part. Here it is. There we go. You all can see my screen. Okay, it's got the little green thing. We're in the choosing now. Okay, we're in the section called the choosing. And what I want you to do is to choose one of the words that you wrote in the first 14 statements, go to each statement and choose one word from each. So you're going to start at the top. You're going to find one word in there that really stands out to you. You're going to pull out that one word. You're going to write that word down here. Then you're going to go to the next one, okay? And then you're going to write that word here. So for each one of these statements above, you are going to choose one word from each line and then write it down here, okay? Yes, there are 14. I had to do a little count there. I thought, uh-oh, I put too many lines in there. This is perfect. All right, so I'm going to give you all, I'm going to give you 1 minute to do that. I'm going to check in and see where you all are. I think 1 minute should suffice for that. And if you all have any questions, just type them into the chat. Okay. Hey, Gloria, I didn't see you there. Hi. And Dory is here also. Hey, Dory. All right, excellent. And we have Lolly here. Hey, Lolly. All right, excellent. Okay, so now, I love these processes, y'all. Look, I really do. I love, part of the joy of being a spiritual life coach is that spirit sends you all these kind of interesting ways to work with spirit, to work with energy. And it's really powerful. So, and your soul is so funny. Our souls are really funny. And you're going to see that in this next section. We're going to go on to step 4. Let me get there here. Step 4. So step 4 is called, I call that the forming, okay? So you now have these 14 words that you've written up here. And your job is to take those 14 words and to arrange them into a phrase or a story or a sentence or a sentiment that resonates in your heart, okay? I know this sounds ridiculous, but this is, I have an example here in the workbook. So I said, if my words, so if the words that I pulled out that felt interesting were love, sadness, Mandarin, happy, life, a garden, poor, colors, style, money, wedding, heart, all, and freely, okay, those are 14 individual words. What you have to do is kind of feel into your heart and then just see where those words want to go to tell you something, all right? And we are not trying to make them make sense, like, oh, we need to make this logical. Remember that your soul is beyond space and time. Your soul is not actually as preoccupied with the three-dimensional world as you in your egoic self is, okay? You are having the human experience, but your soul is connected to the divine, it's connected to the Akashic records. It knows things that you don't necessarily have in your conscious self, which is why we do the exercise this way, because it brings up stuff that you weren't necessarily aware of, okay? So what you want to do now is I'm going to give you another minute and you're going to arrange those 14 words into some kind of a story. You're going to get a message from those 14 words. It's kind of like taking out 14 tarot cards and being like, okay, what do all these tarot cards mean? You would read those cards and you'd be like, okay, my soul's telling me this or telling me that. Same kind of thing. You're taking these words and putting them all together, and you can write them here in this space. All right, I'm going to set the soul. Oh, here's how I did it for my example. My soul wants a happy life with a mandarin garden full of love and sadness, but gleaming with colors, style, money, and a wedding, all given freely to the poor from my heart. So for me, when I think about that, like I can kind of see myself laughing and I'm like, wait, this is actually speaking to me. This really does speak to my soul. Like I'm in this fragrant garden and I'm like, this is just me living my best life, you know, and me being connected to the feminine, me having a life partner, being married, you know, and colors and all this kind of thing. So you figure out what your soul is telling you through this exercise. I'm going to put the timer on. Okay, here we go. Start. All right, and Lolly, I know I appreciate you coming to join me here. In the chat is the link to the workbook. So if you haven't gotten it yet, you can do that, or you can, yeah, I think it's easiest if you could grab it from there. If you need it, if you don't get it, if you're not able to get it right now, tell me and I can email it to you when we're done. That is the outdated workbook, by the way, so I'm sorry about that. It's just about having a little bit of extra space in one of the sections, so it's not a big deal if you have this one. But if you want the updated workbook, just put your email in the chat. You can send that privately to me and I will get that to you. Okay. All right. Now, for this last section, that's for this particular part of the exercise that we're doing today, it's called the deciphering. Okay, the deciphering. This is where you decode your soul's message and you will figure out what in the hell your soul is talking about. Like, what are you talking about, crazy pants? This is a crazy sentence that I've put together. Well, this is where you're going to write out what your soul means. You're going to sit down with that statement and you're going to read into it and feel into it and see what your soul is trying to tell you. All right. Look, I'm going to give you 1 minute right now to spend a little time with that, but keep in mind, that's okay. I'm going to, you can do this later is my point. All right. So I'm going to set 1 minute and let you have at it. By the way, I told you my deciphering, like right up here. As I was describing what this meant to me, that's what I mean by deciphering. Taking this little story and understanding what it means for me being that happy garden and living my best life. Okay, so write out your deciphering in here. Okay, so again, go back and spend more time with this if you feel like you need to, all right? The thing that's important to understand is that your soul brought you to this call today. Your soul was in communication with my soul, and it knew what I was going to be presenting. The reason you showed up here is because your soul wanted you to show up here. The reason we're doing this is because it wanted you to see something. It knew what I was going to be doing, all right? And it brought you here. What it's proposing to you is a part of your soul's divine life purpose. It's your soul's purpose, okay? The thing that I want you to do is celebrate it, and I want you to say yes to it, okay? I want you to take this very seriously. I want you to take yourself very seriously. And I want you to take this opportunity very seriously. You want to be a spiritual life coach, and you can make that happen. This is a part of the process. This is an energetic step, okay? So say yes to your purpose, and let's move on to the next step, okay? So I'm going to stop the screen share for a moment. And I'm going to, let me see, move that. I'm going to move that. And here we go. All right. Okay. So right now, we're going into another section. And so look, I'm going to just show you something else on the screen share real quick. Because in the workbook, is a place for you to work to write down your vision. I'm going to take you through the vision right now. You don't have to necessarily write this down right now. You can always go back and write it down later. You can get a copy of this video if you want to. If you want my voice to go through it. You know, if you want to do it that way, you can go through it again, or you can just go through it on your own and write down what comes up for you. So there are spaces here. I'm going to take you through the whole meditation. I mean, it's not a meditation. It's a meditation, but it's more of an activation. You're going to be active. You're going to be thinking. You're going to be involved. You're not going to be like zoning out into zero. You know, you're not going to be connecting to oneness. You're going to actually be like, what does this feel like? What is this vision that's coming forth? What do I want for myself? Okay, this is really important. So let's get into that. And I just wanted to show you here in the workbook that there's a space for you to go back and write out what you visualize in this workbook. Okay. So don't worry, we are coming back to that. You can come back to that later. For right now, I want you just to kind of start to relax and start to receive and get your mind into visualization mode. All right. We're going to be moving quickly. All right. Just keep in mind that your job is to go back so that you can prepare for next week's manifestation ritual. All right. You want this visualization really clear. You want it active, and you want it to be a part of you so that when you go to manifest, when you go to say to the new moon, this is what I want, it is all in you, and you are very, very clear. Okay. So what do you need to know about visualization? Why are we doing this? Well, it's a strong part of the law of attraction, all right? And manifesting is something that starts in the energetic field. It starts in the vibrational field, and then it comes into form through our thoughts, our actions, by the universe coming together, matter materializing, okay? So what's really important, as this is the very first kind of, the manifestation process started ages ago for you. Today is not the first step in your manifestation of your spiritual life coaching business. It's just the first step that you and I are doing in this formalized way, but you started manifesting it back when you thought about it. And every time you dream about it, and every time you get excited about the thought of becoming a spiritual life coach and owning your own business, you're bringing it that much closer. Every time you take action on it, like watching one of the live streams in the League of Badass Butterflies, or, interacting with me, doing a worksheet, every time you do that, you are bringing it more into you're manifesting it more and more. Okay. Now I just had you do all this soul work and you've said yes to it. That's a very strong act of manifestation. Now we're doing this formal visualization process. Everybody knows that you want this. Okay. You've shown up here today. You want this. Now we're going to do that thing next week. And the universe is going to be like, oh, she's serious. Okay. She really does want it. That's when things are going to start to heat up. Okay. So that is going to be the first step, to understand the more you think about this, the more you visualize it, the more you take action on it, the more real your manifestation is going to become, the faster it's going to come. Okay. The key to manifestation is uniting your thoughts and your feelings and your actions. So visualizing yourself where you want to be is going to help your brain believe that you really are where you want to be. Like when you believe, I am a spiritual life coach, I am successful. When you believe it, you act like it. Okay, you take actions from it and you feel like it. All of those things work together to say, yeah, she is a spiritual life coach. Yes, she is successful. Yes, things do go her way. Yes, she is very good at what she does. Okay, because she believes it, she feels it, and she acts like it. She acts like a boss because she's a boss. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and have you close your eyes and breathe into your body. And I want you to affirm that you have a desire to be a spiritual life coach. It doesn't matter what you've gone through in your past. It doesn't matter what you've done in your past. What matters is that you have a desire to be a spiritual life coach. And you want to make it real. So what we're going to do is we're going to visualize you 3 years from now. 3 years from now. This is 2022, October 18th, 2022. 3 years from now, it's going to be 2025. All right. Why are we doing 3 years from now? Because for the first 2 years of any business and any project, it's challenging. And I want you to, for right now, for this visualization, I want you to skip the challenging part. Why? Because you're going to live through that. You're going to do the work. And the work is actually not the hard part. The hard part is the vision itself, to understand that you can be that magnificent, that you can be that badass, that you can own that woman who is 3 years from where you are today. Okay? So go ahead and take a deep breath. And I want you to affirm within yourself that you have a desire to be a spiritual life coach. And I want you to see yourself working for yourself. And I want you to see yourself as successful. I am successful. I am successful. And this means that you have time, wealth, and financial freedom. Time, wealth is really important because that means that you have an abundance of time and you are never stretched or strapped for time. There's ease. When you have time wealth, there is ease in your life. You don't struggle when you have time wealth. And it's the same for financial freedom. When you are financially free, it means you are not limited by finances and by other people's rules around finances. So you are financially free. And just how does that feel to have time, wealth, and financial freedom? Your divine purpose in life is to help others heal and transform. This is 3 years from now, and you are very much living in your purpose. You are a healer and a transformer. You are a spiritual life coach. You have done the work and you have gotten yourself certified as a spiritual life coach. And just notice how that makes you feel. You've learned a lot over the last 3 years, and you have done all the work to bring you to this level of success. So let's explore more of what that looks like for you. I want you to imagine that it is early morning and it is time for you to wake up. I want you to stretch, and I want you to imagine that you look up and you see your higher self, your soul, and your spiritual guidance team smiling at you. And you greet them in your usual way. Just want you to visualize this. And I want to give you a moment to just explore what is your personal early morning ritual. What is your personal early morning ritual? Perhaps you go to your altar and you sit down to meditate and do some shadow work. Maybe you do some yoga. Maybe you go for a run, get some coffee. Just take a moment and explore your early morning lifestyle. And just taking a deep breath and allowing this vision of your early morning life to integrate itself with you. Just allow it to be. And notice how you feel. You're seeing yourself 3 years from now. You've done a lot of really good work. You were challenged and you won. You overcame the challenges. You got yourself certified. You set up your business. And now we're moving into the mid-morning, okay? You are a successful life coach with your business. Let's take a look at your home. Let's just look at the outside of your home. What kind of neighborhood are you living in? It's 3 years from now. You've done a lot of work. You've built up your business. What kind of structure are you in? Are you in a house, a cottage? You in a bungalow on the beach? Where do you live? Are you living in Bali? Are you in South America on a big old property? And while you're taking in, your neighborhood and the outside of your home, do you have a car? Is it on the street or is it in the garage? What kind of car do you have? You got a big family, so you have a big old car, or are you kind of more of a singleton, so you got yourself a little Mini Cooper? What kind of car do you have? And now let's go into your place. What's your living room like? What kind of decor do you have? What's your color scheme? And what's the quality of your place? Is it really cozy and lived in and welcoming? Or is it very organized and neat and everything's in its place? What does your home look like? What feels great to you, your 3 years older self? Let's take a peek at your kitchen. Where do you take your meals? Where do you make your meals? Okay. Oh, and I wanted to just let you know that you can make a vision board for this also. All right, we'll talk more about that before we finish. But I want you to, for this vision, I want you to really dive deep into it. Get detailed. See your kitchen with with your knives and your chopping board and your appliances, your air fryer, okay, your big refrigerator. And let's go into your bedroom right now. Okay, let's move into your bedroom and let's take a look in your closet. What kind of clothes are in your closet? What's your fashion sense like? How are you dressing yourself 3 years from now? What kind of shoes do you like to wear? And you look in your lingerie drawer. What kind of lingerie do you got in there? What you wearing? And let's go into your bathroom. Okay, I want you to move into your bathroom and look around at your products. See your towels hanging, your bath linens. And I want you to look into the bathroom mirror and see yourself. 3 years from now, you have built a successful spiritual life coaching business. You've done this. How do you feel when you see your reflection? What do you notice about the woman in the mirror? So we're working in the mid-morning part of the day. What are you doing during this time of the day? Are you getting yourself dressed for work? Maybe grabbing some breakfast? Maybe you've got some early clients that you start. I do a lot of my writing during this time of the day, a lot of just writing and organizing. I see clients later, but what about you? Just take a few moments and visualize yourself going about your morning as this successful spiritual life coach. What does that look like for you? And let's move into the afternoon, okay? And let's take a look at the place where you work, all right? Now, you could have a home office or you can have a professional office space. It doesn't matter. It could be a wellness studio, a day spa, all right, a wellness center. So where do you conduct your business? See your whole office setup and look at your furniture. Notice, notice what kind of fabrics you chose to make your place feel good for you. Do you have rugs? And what about the lighting? Are there windows? Do you have a view? Is there a little balcony or a balconette? Do you have plants or fresh cut flowers? Just really taking another moment to breathe in your office space. And here's a question for you. Do you have a receptionist or a greeter? Who's working for you? Do you have someone who comes in and helps you out, or do you have a virtual assistant? After you've been working on your own and building your business for 3 years, you probably are going to have a virtual assistant, at least one at the very least. You're going to need some help. What does that feel like? What does that look like? And now let's move into the mid-afternoon. So you're settled into your cozy work environment, and maybe it's lunchtime. So what kind of food are you eating? What you're not the same person that you are today, but are your food and dietary habits the same, or have you upgraded them at all? Do you eat at your desk, or do you pull away to relax and unwind a bit? Just imagine yourself getting your midday meal. How does it feel to be enjoying this right now? And let's not forget that you are actually a successful spiritual life coach. So what's on your agenda for your workday? Do you maybe have some private one-on-one sessions booked for the afternoon? Are you maybe teaching a class later tonight? Or maybe today's just a day where you're working on your next ebook and you're going to just make yourself a nice cup of tea, burn some peppermint essential oil, and really focus on getting your writing done before the deadline that you gave yourself. So just spend a few moments thinking about this part of your day. And if you're going to imagine yourself seeing clients, see them. Imagine the sound of their voice. Imagine what you're talking about with them. Imagine a great, healthy relationship with your client, if you feel moved to. So as your day moves forward, you find yourself maybe, needing to maybe check in on your children, or if you're like me, you got to get your dog a walk, okay? This could also be a time to do meal prep, to connect with your partner, maybe running some errands to the shops before the shops close, For me, because I work internationally, I sometimes have client appointments later in the evening, okay? So for you, this is your coaching experience. This is your business that you have worked so hard for. And you get to do it the way you want to do it. So how do you want to be spending your evenings? So just take a few moments and imagine your evening. Now, I probably should have said this, but the evening, I have that separated a little bit from the night. So for me, the evening is like up until 8 o'clock. And then after 8 o'clock, I go into the night. So I would like to move you all a little bit later into the night. Okay. So it's after 8 o'clock p.m. Maybe everybody's unwinding. What is happening for you in the evening? I mean, are you bonding with your kids, helping them with homework, cleaning up the kitchen? Maybe you have another appointment at that night. I mean, if you're a night owl, you could be just getting started with seeing clients in the evening, and you work internationally. That's a real possibility. How does your night work? Do you go for a little walk at night? Do you have a little glass of wine to unwind? Do you do some yoga? So just take a moment and relax. How do you spend your night? And for those of you who have a late night, how do you spend your late night? Maybe you do some meditation, little prayer. You bond with your partner. Maybe you make love. You want to visualize yourself as a successful spiritual life coach. What is it that you do? What do you do with your late night if you're a successful spiritual life coach? So we're going to start wrapping this up right now. And I want you to close this visualization process by answering two different questions. They sound like they are the same, but they are not. And the questions are, what are you grateful for? And the other question is, what do you appreciate? Gratitude is a feeling of having something that you didn't have before. So there's a sense of, I'm so grateful that I have this. This thing could be gone. Okay, so what are you grateful for? Just think about that for a moment. And this next question is, what do you appreciate? Now, Abraham Hicks says that appreciation is a higher vibration of gratitude. And I agree with them. The energy of appreciation is about elevating, raising. When your property appreciates, it goes up in value. So when you appreciate something, it goes up in value. So to close this visualization process, I want you to just acknowledge what you have right now in today's life that you appreciate, that you want to raise in value. All right, my friends. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I want to remind you to please sign up for Spiritual Life Coach Startup Bootcamp as soon as possible, okay? I want to make sure you get the assessment. And of course, I want to make sure that you are going to join me next week for day 2 of this, okay, for the second part of this manifestation process. It's the new moon next week. And, when you're doing the new moon ritual, and look, you guys, this is not going to be a woo-woo ritual. This is going to be an empowerment ritual. So there's not going to be a whole bunch of like incense burning and a lot of meditating and chanting. I used to do those meditations all the time. And right now, I've got 1 hour and I need to get I need to get this message into the universe, okay? So this is going to be very much an active, engaging manifestation ritual. Come with your worksheet that you've completed or your notes, okay? And let's get this party started. And look, if you are ready now to get started as a spiritual life coach, if you are ready to make that decision, if you're ready to make that mental investment, that emotional investment, even that financial investment, then we need to talk. So book yourself, just send me a private message, okay? Send a message or book yourself in for a strategy call, and let's talk about how we can get you started, okay? All right, my friends, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. All right? Okay, bye, friends. Bye for now. Bye.